Hello there. So today we have an official announcement, at least I have seen Totovik doing it on LinkedIn, that the Expense Agents web app is finally available as public preview in Business Central US region, at least. That's what I've figured out. Now, so now we officially have this build. We can just try it. We can just go do a quick demo. So my idea was to just give it a shot. Let's see how it works. And in a short word, if I would like to conclude what it is, how it feels, it is just dope. It is just too good. Credit to Microsoft. They have really you know engage themselves in the side of agents, especially on with the Business Central. I must say this thing is going to be a game changer for sure. So I have submitted my last video on how to you know uh, use the expense management. So that's the expense management side of PC, but that's what that was, and I will be submitting more videos on that side to see version 2, 3, and 4 to see what functionality does it have. But it's very important to see expense agents web app in picture, because let's try and understand that Microsoft really wants you know partners to start using the web app to see that experience. And trust me, they're not wrong. So I'll just take you right through the demo, and let's see how it goes. So first things first, it is only available in public preview for US. That's at least what their official document says. So when you have your US environment, and it has to be on 28.1 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there you see. The platform can be 28.0 because they haven't changed on it. Probably didn't change anything on that. But yeah, overall, if you see here, it's 28.1. And once I do that, I should have this agent here for called expense agent. Okay, so in my case, what I have done, and this is the part where it is mostly very important, configure it before you start using it. Okay, so when you have your Cronus USA environment, you know what, let me start it from slightly from the beginning. So once you have your US based environment, first things first, go ahead and set up an email account, and I'll tell you why it is important in a minute. So in my case, I have the CDX environment. I have kind of created the email account with my current user, and yeah, that should be pretty much good enough for me. Okay, next thing, you should see some expense related, if I'm not wrong, users and employees and whatnot. Now what I have done is that I have used my email account. So if I go to my users, so I've used my email account, which is this one, to get it populated on one of the employees. Because when you have to understand, when you're trying to use the web app, you have to act as a expense user who is actually trying to submit the expense, right? And in order to do that, you have to be an expense user for that. So what I did is that I just updated my company email ID on this Esther Henderson employee card, and I did it on private email, but company email should be sufficient enough. So once you do that, it will give you a prompt that you're trying to update it, blah blah blah, and you will have it here. Okay, so the next thing that you would like to do is that you would like to kind of configure the approver of Esther Henderson. So in my case, I kept it really simple. I just said can approve. You don't have to do team manager. And in the approval setup, I just said Esther can himself approve her request. At least I see we should do that, or it's not really necessary. Okay, next thing. So if you go to the settings, So in your case, when you click that, you will get to this prompt right away. So important setups that you have to do: enable access via web app. Do that in order to make sure that this user must be able to log into the web app, and enable sending emails with the receipts. So yeah, for this ID, this ID will be used for sending emails having receipts on the expense. You'll see the flavor of it in a second. So either if you want, you can activate it now, but if you don't want to do it, just go through the rest of the things. So from the next pages of this wizard, what I have noticed that is that it kind of just creates a demo data. Now one would ask that how is it different from the normal Contoso demo data, right? Because I have the tenant, I have the environment, and I also have some already created demo data with me, right? So what I have noticed is that it's only to make sure that if you are trying to upgrade any existing tenant, which is an existing environment, then you should have this wizard based control demo data, because you don't really want to have all the expense users and everyone getting created in your system, right? So if I go here, I can see it's kind of creating those number series. I can see what it is getting, what is going to be created, which is actually a pretty neat thing, right? I can basically try and see whether I need it or not, right? So I do this, and yeah, for policy, blah blah blah. Yeah, I think it should be good enough. So once you activate it and enable, you update it, so you will have the same screen as I am having on your right, which says this tick mark. You are pretty much set to go. But here's the thing: how will you open the expense web app, right? Because it's not going to be the BC URL. It's going to be a different URL. So in my case, you can see I have opened two different tabs. But how will you do that? Ideally, what you can do is that, and this is where it gets really interesting. So you notice that in the beginning I have shown you that you have to put this email ID here and there, blah blah blah. So one of the thing was that when you say can approve, then the approver must be a BC user. Okay, so for example, if I go to another expense user, and if I try to say can approve, yeah, so it says in order to be an expense approver, there must be a user in Business Central for email with this ID. So you must be a central user in order to send an approval request. Now what it means is that if you are an expense user who is just going to submit the expense, he doesn't have to really be an BC user. Okay, so that's one thing, right? But even if he's not a BC user, he should be able to perform and submit his expense reports or whatnot using the web app. Okay, so let's keep it very simple for now, right? We don't have to jump the 4-story 5-story building altogether. So I'm going to be using this user. Okay, we'll keep it very simple. So I need to access the web app, right? So in order to do that, I have to click on this action called send welcome email. So once I click on that, because I might get an error, yeah, in my case I'll get an error that this field has to be no, because I've already clicked on send. So once you have your email account set up, and then you have this welcome email connected to it. So once you click on that, at some point you will get this email. Let's see what this email has. It's a very nicely articulated email, right? The users are getting a flavor of what the functionality is going to be there. And yeah, it also gives you this links. So if you click on this link, it will now take you to your expense agent web app. Okay, so it's very important. So even if you have access, you might not be able to open it. Why? Because you don't really know the URL. So it's now once you have this, you can basically see it says app.expenses.dynamics.com. So yeah, we don't have to go into too much detail because it's still in public preview. So that's how it is. Okay, but in order to do that, you still need to know the functionality. So that's how it is going to be. All right. Now, if I go back to my BC and we'll keep the circle as it is, like it was before, there has to be an expense because it's going to be from the agent, right? And then from those expense, I would like to have a expense report, right? So if I go here on my BC environment, then I can see it has some demo data on it. So, but it doesn't have my information there, the my expense that I'm trying to submit. So what are we going to do now is that we will, so in my recent experience, what is going to happen is that I will be traveling to Directions Asia. Okay, so for that I have this ticket of mine, which is something which I would like to scan, right? So let's try doing it, right? So I'm going to submit this as an expense to my expense report. And also I've submitted another expense, which I will submit as well. So we'll keep it simple for now. So let's do, you have your expense web app. I'll do upload receipt. And here I have this ticket. Okay. So it's going to take I would say roughly one minute or two, but still it's worth waiting, I must say. So let's see, extracting details, blah blah blah. So while it is doing that, we can just quickly glance through this web app. It's pretty specific web app, no fancy dashboards and whatnot, at least for now. A nice welcome greeting text. It has your company name, and yeah, in the right you have your expense receipt that you have tried to done. Okay, all right, so let's see. I have this expense uploaded here. So yeah, there you go. So in my directions is obviously in on 12th, so I will be traveling there on 12th, right? So now if you notice that it has uploaded my receipt, it's the same receipt, and the cost was roughly around 18,274, that too in INR. Okay, now let's see. So it has found the merchant name Air India, which is very good, and then you have your price, and then it says flight from Delhi to Ho Chi Minh City. Very nice. And then it goes to categorization. It has selected the expense category of airline, right? Pretty neat. So far so good, right? And we'll do one thing very quickly. So I don't want to change anything. It says on my right, expense meets all the policy requirements, no additional actions required. Very nice. So I'll close it and I'll say so this is basically because my company's LCY is on USD, so it has converted this 18,274 INR to USD. So I do submit, and once I submit it, I can see that expense report is no longer available here, which means it is going to be available here. And yeah, if I go back to my expense business central environment, so let's see what do we have here now. So I can see number 74 is appearing, and yeah, that's basically my expense. That's my receipt number. And what else? Let's see. Here in there is the merchant name, and it has selected the right expense category. Very nice. I don't have any expense rule violations, which is also very good. I mean, and it is already submitted. That's another thing. So let's see. Okay, that's one of the neatest thing I have seen, since you have this preview available on your fact boxes. So you can have this receipt available in BC. One can also see that. Looks very nice, very classy, and yeah, all the information is also available here. So since the expense is already submitted, there is no need to release it. So let's jump right to the expense report. Okay. All right, so you now you will see it has created an expense report with a description of you know May 2026, which is good. And then it is basically kind of creating all that information. So I have my attachments here as well, which is also good. Let's try to do a preview post, right? Let's see if it is even doing the right thing or not. Okay, so I have my preview post as well, which is good. And yeah, guys, I mean, this is this is pretty awesome, right? So consider the business scenario, right? You have this bill uploaded, invoice uploaded by the expense user. Behind the scene, once you submit it, it goes through approvals, or maybe not on approval. It goes directly to expense and expense report. And one fine day, the expense report accounts department or someone can go in and he can just basically upload and review and post it. Let's see what else is there. It's still not the only thing that it does. So now I'm going to do another thing. I also had a hotel expense some time back, so I'm going to use that receipt as well. uh, oh shoot. Okay, we yeah, it says I have kind of used my date, you know yeah. Okay, never mind. But in all likelihood, what I can say is that it has kind of created this expense as well. So I have taken a ride from my Uber, right? And now I am basically using that rides information to use here. So it has created this expense as well. And yeah, in this case it is kind of a scenario where you have ground transport. So I'm going to submit this. Yeah, unfortunately, we won't be able to see the hotel expense because they give very limited number of credits to us. Uh, so that's submitted as well, which is good. So now you will see that after submitting, I'm also getting, for my approval, I have two expenses. That's because I'm not only, the expense user, but I'm also my own approver. So all I can do is that I can just simply approve them because it doesn't really make sense to keep them holding. So approved, approved. All right. Now let's try and see if I can do one more thing. I doubt I will be, but let's see. Okay, so I would like to create a mileage expense, and that's something which is also pretty neat. So uh, let's see. I went for my visa application to do all these stuff, to go to directions, North Asia. And for that, I would like to, kind of submit my expense to my organization. So what I will do that I will put my starting point and then I put my ending point, which is VFS Global. That's the visa office number, I guess. Okay, it was the same day round trip, and it is basically giving me all those 2 3 routes, which is again a pretty cool way of doing something. So I said route 1, route 2, or maybe route 3. So let's go with route 1. We'll keep it simple. And if I go to categorization, now it is mileage, and I say visa application biometric. Okay, so that's another way. I mean, I don't know if it's going to approve it or not, but let's see. So I'll submit it for May, not 15th. I would go with 1, and I paid cash. So if I do create, let's see what it does. So if since my quota is kind of finished, I'm not really sure whether it's going to even submit it or not. Let's see. So it's doing refresh. Let's hope we have it. Oh, there you go. All right, so I have this, mileage expense submit created, and I'm going to just submit it. Let's see what it does. So again, so it's a very neat thing, like very user friendly, right? You had a trip, you went from one place to another. You would like to claim some mileage for that, and yeah, it's basically your car. You took your car from one place to another. You don't really have a receipt for that, right? But you still want to claim mileage. So in that case, you can just simply use this nice UI, and you just basically submit your expense. So let's see. I should have three more expenses, or at least two, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so yeah, this one was for Uber. I can see it has, the Uber receipt here. And then I have this one for yeah, that's basically the one for mileage. So now if you notice that it says mileage was this, it was basically the distance, these many miles I have traveled. And on my expense agent setup, I should have a standard rate of mileage, if I'm not wrong. It should be somewhere. I've seen the field allowance. Yeah, there you go. Standard rate of mileage. So 1.20 times, your this 27, you have total mileage this. And yeah, for that you have your currency. Based on that, your currency code, you will have this. Now, one of the things that it also has done is that it has submitted the expense. So let's see what we have it here now. So again, you have a new expense report. You basically have those three expense report having all this information. So me as an employee can now go in. So first things first, I will do here is that I'm going to approve it. So it says submitted. I wonder why this one is not there. Yeah, it's here for my approval. So you can approve. If send back means basically you can send it fair for rejection. I don't see a point of looking into this, but yeah, it works fine, to be honest. Okay, so I can see that it has three expenses. One thing what I would hoping is that it might club all these expenses into one expense report, but yeah, this one is also good enough, right? uh, so let's try and see what else we can do. Yeah, I cannot make any changes to this one, but the idea was that once I do that, this bill, it doesn't really have any itemization on it. So once I do that, I should be able to add the itemization here, and it basically shows me the violation at the same time. But nevertheless, I think what was really needed is that we have this web app available. Okay, so and you can see it gives you a flavor what it really does, and what it really do. So once I do all this, probably, if I'm not wrong, if I do posting now, I should have an email, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't tested this part before the demo, so it might not send that. So yeah, this one amount should be this. It says it's a rounding issue. I'm fine with that. I don't see any problem. Might change my mileage to 27 just to make it round. So this is another thing, you have some expense submitted by someone. Now you probably want to make changes on top of it as an expense manager, right? So you can simply do that. So I go here. Okay, now what happens? So I'm not sure if I will be able to post that guy. Let's try. Yeah, I think it has to be approved from. But nevertheless, I think that's something which can be counted as a bug, but it can be fixed later as well. So let's try to post this one, just for the airline ticket. Okay, so we have our posted expense reports. Oh, all right. So now that's basically one of the another thing that I would like to demonstrate. Once we have this, now you can see the expense reports. You're getting notified, right? You submit them. Me as a reviewer or an approver is also getting notifications that hi, blah blah blah, expense report needs your review. So if I go here, I do this, it will take me to that expense web app with this specific expense report, and it's basically coming for all the expenses. And once I approve it, and that's another part of it, so once I approve it, the expense user will get a notification again that your expense report is approved, and by the same employee, it's a hypothetical case, it will now be processed for reimbursement. Okay, so the person is also getting notified at the same time. So let's see, what do we have here? Okay, so yeah, I mean, so far so good, right? And the best part I have seen is that you're getting notified. Emails are pretty decent. It's a new flavor. I can see the swag that the emails are having. Nicely articulated, templatized emails, giving a new flavor. It's not like the previous old version. Not that it's bad, to be honest, but yeah, it pretty much gives us a lot of things to consider. New UI, new way of developing things, and like I said in the beginning, it's pretty dope. I'm in completely love with this expense app. Uh, so yeah, I probably will create some more videos on the side of expense agent, and yeah, feel free to drop your questions, and especially if you're not able to use the expense web app, feel free to reach out on my blog. I'll be happy to help. I've given some time on it, so yeah, it's important to see whether others are also able to use it, and see, and we can probably discuss how uh, it is even what other use cases can be seen in this app. So yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good day.